trying to get to the sawdust burner. This is all the stuff I'm going through. Okay, there's a bridge behind this thing, and I'm gonna get there, cross the bridge to get onto the property. Okay, here's the bridge. It's right behind this fallen tree. I gotta get in here without getting poison oak. I made it onto the bridge. Well, I haven't gotten shot yet. Well, getting up to this thing is not going to be as easy as it looks. It's full of blackberries. There's a tree growing next to it. It's a way different deal from here than it is from the highway. This is the intake vents on the bottom. There's actually 2 rows of these things. This one's pretty much buried. So I've been measuring this, and I'm getting about a 16-inch depth and about 8 3/8 width, and I got the height 21 something. It appears as though on the verticals every seam is a double seam with bolts. The dimension outward of the vertical is 3 3/4 inch. So this is a video of 3 horizontal sections. So these are the ribs, a total of 4 ribs, 3 spaces, and it comes down to 88 inches. Spacing of 1 rib, 29.5. One space between the upper rib and the lower. The next one, vertical section between the ribs, is also 29.5, and the third way up there is also 29.5. So judging from 3 of them, they're all the same. I judge that the distance of the first reinforcement ring surrounding the middle of this structure is about 12 to 16 inches. Holding my tape measure out and then aligning that with what I'm looking at up above me. This one looks smaller than the one down near the bottom. There's one right there. Note this piece of rail, well, H-bar welded on. Reinforcement ring has no canted out supports. Okay, so I'm holding the tape. I've got 87.5 from the outside of one vertical double rib structure all the way along it to the outside of the other double rib. Okay, so if you started in the middle, you'd have to subtract, all right, from both. You'd have to subtract a little bit. And this is location just above this is the very first rib above the lower vent. So alrighty, so here's what I did. I'm on the inside of the vertical now. So on the inside of the vert, I've got 83.5 from the inside of one vert to the inside of the other along the length of rib number 1. If that's rib number 0 down there. This is rib. I've got a height right now of 176.5 inches from the, okay, so there's the bottommost rib. I'm in the weeds here, and that spans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertical strips of metal. Alrighty, circular rings. The circular ring at the top up there appears to me to be pretty darn close to the same width as the one in the middle. All right, the one in the middle being, of course, larger in circumference, but all their aspects are the same. You'll notice there is a difference in welds on the middle one. You've got this space there in between those, and then up above there's no space. You can see there's no space right there. Just one aspect I wanted to note is that the horizontal ribs, they are almost flat. There's a slight bow to these things, but they were clearly not roll bent, okay? The panels are roughly flat here, even though the structure overall looks different. These panels are pretty close to flat. There's a little bit of a bend. Some of them have a bend. See that one right there? There's a bend there on that guy. I just moved a little ways away from the building. The circular frame reinforcement, the first one, is right at the top of the 9th strip of vertical metal. Notice again that the sheet metal does not line up with the skeleton structure of this thing. All right, there's just all kinds of, you can see right in there, there's the gap. All right, but it is overlapped, okay, and there's definitely some patchwork here and there. Okay. It is up, it is true, there's one way up there, right there. Now that's about the 1, 2, 3, 4th from the top. Better seen on a photo from a long ways away, but there you can kind of get the width of that band. It's a fairly beefy piece of metal. It looks like it's roughly 5 or 6 inches in height and maybe 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches in depth. Where is it? Right there. Keep falling off of it. I'm looking inside the vent right here, okay? And there's garbage in there piled up to the level of the vents. This is the bottom vent, of course. I just wanted to see if I can get in here, get the phone turned around. I don't know if I'm going to get any video in there or not. Alright, I got what I got. I'm going to go in one more time here, hopefully not drop the phone. And get just a little more coverage. I want to talk about the distance again between the panels. This is the very first panel here. Okay, we got the 0 rib and the rib number 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th one here on the back side has the line in the middle of it. And then the 8th one. And then the 9th one. The 9th one with the reinforcement ring going right through it. It's difficult to say if that 8th one is shorter. It looks like it's a little shorter than the others, which have been about 29.5 inches. So then moving on up, the 9th one being behind the circular the ring, 10, 11, 12. 12 has a line in it. 13, let's see here. 12 has a line in it. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The big bar is on the top of 17, 18, 19, 20, and then the little short one at the top would be the 21, which you can barely see, and you can't really see it in the video here. So 21 total panel horizontal sections, which would be 22 ribs, including rib 0. The width of the ladder is 14.75 inches, and I'm going to measure the heights. And rung to rung, I measured it 15 inches. I'm not showing the tape measure, I can't hold everything. That's the lower support ring is really twisted up over here. That's the upper one in the background that's okay. Alright, so the doors have a piece of metal that right on top, it's like, I'm not sure, it just reinforces. I don't think the doors, they don't slide along it or anything. I'm getting my tape measure up to that piece of metal right now, and we are on, and then down to the level of the dirt, we are looking at roughly 12 feet, okay? And then on the width, this is essentially occupying one vertical column, so that covers it right there. No need to do further on width. Same for the door width. I could take one here. What am I at? Rib number, be about rib number 2. I got this one. It's gonna be pretty tough, folks. Okay. See that big giant vent on the door right here. Hard to even get down in there, but it's a big. It's about the same size as the other ones on the bottom. There's about a 21-inch height, and it's just right in the middle of the door. The ones on the bottom, they are every column, and the ones up above in the middle are every other column. More door. 3 big hinges. Here's one in the middle, right here, and then there's another hinge right up there. Okay. There are some other interesting details here off to the side. So here we have that vent that's in the door, and then right here's another sort of like door or something. It's on hinges, and it looks like it's bent. It's like an additional secondary door or something, about 3 feet wide and maybe 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall. It's hard to say, it goes down the weeds.